glad that you joined me because today we're making Marsala chicken from France. Yep, that's what we're doing today. So come on over here and let's get started. So I'm going to start off with a cutting board and 2 chicken breasts, and we have to cut these in half here. So you're just going to use a chef's knife. Put your palm here. You're just going to slice right across like so. Okay. And just set these aside up here, and let's do our next one. Okay, so they're too thick, and so we have to make them a little bit thinner, basically. Okay, put our chicken breast right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut up our mushrooms. Let me wash my hands real quick. I don't like the chicken peel on there. Okay, there we go. Dry them off here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a mise en place on the mushrooms. So I'm going to grab a bowl out of here to do that with, and then we'll do some mise en place on here too. So we're just going to go ahead and take the mushrooms here and cut these up. So we're just going to use our claw to do so. You know, thin slices is great, okay? So we're going for about half of a cup of mushrooms because Marsala chicken is, you know, all about the mushrooms. So it's a great dish, okay? I think you're really gonna like it. So mushrooms are kind of one of those things that isn't in a lot of French cuisine, but one of the nice things about the mushrooms and about French cuisine is they use a lot of butter, a lot of fat to basically bring a lot of flavor to dishes. And so, you know, you can modify this dish a little bit by taking out a little bit of the fat when we get to that point, okay? So let's go ahead and do the garlic here. So that's about a half a cup of mushrooms sliced up thinly, and then just smack it down here. These are kind of 2 cloves of garlic. They're smaller cloves of garlic. So if you have a big clove of garlic, you can just use that, okay? But take off the shell here and toss it in the trash here. And then we're just going to take off this root part here of the garlic. And so we're not going to mince the garlic. We're just going to slice the garlic, okay, thinly, and then use it that way. You don't have to mince the garlic for this particular dish, okay? We're just gonna slice it thinly, put it in a little prep bowl over here, and just keep going. Make sure you use your claw so you don't cut yourself, okay? And let's put these in here. And then we're just going to get some of our other spices ready as well. So we're going to be putting in some tarragon, okay? Tarragon kind of gives it this really kind of sweet flavor. It's actually really quite nice. I love it. So tarragon it looks like this. It's a herb, and it's pretty delicious. So just get out your measuring spoons, okay? And we're going to use a whole entire teaspoon of tarragon in here. So let's put a teaspoon of tarragon in here like so, and we're going to use that, okay? And then right on here we're going to put about 1/4 of a cup of flour, okay? So let's just kind of measure this. You don't have to be exact because you're basically just going to be coating the chicken, okay? So just kind of move this around like so. And we're just going to toss a little bit of salt in here and a little bit of pepper into the flour here. Okay, there we go. But we're also going to make sure that we put the chicken out here and we salt and pepper this as well, okay? So just kind of put your chicken out here like so. Let me wash my hands real quick. There we go. There's something about putting my hands in the salt with chicken on them that just, I don't want to do that, okay? So go ahead and put the salt on here like so. Alrighty, got one side. Now we're gonna do the back side after we do the pepper. So just kind of sprinkle on some pepper as well. This basically just ensures that the chicken has a nice flavor to it. And then let's do the other side as well. So again, let me wash my fingers off again here. Let me pick up that salt spoon without getting them clean hands. Okay, so just kind of toss it on here like so. There we go. And a little bit of pepper as well. We're just going to put that on here like so. And then we're going to go ahead and dredge this chicken. So this is called dredging. So you just take the chicken into the flour and you just coat it, do the sides, you know, get them real coated nicely, put it back on here. And again, this one. So we're doing 2 chicken breasts and cut in half, lengthwise. Okay, don't do this. I've had my students do that before, you know, cut them in half this way. No, this direction, horizontally. Okay, and here we go. And just keep going on this. And this is going to be coated really nicely. Love these, love this meal here. So, okay. So now that I kind of have my mise en place, I'm going to meet you over at the cooktop. Okay, so we're ready. I already turned on the stovetop. About medium, don't go over that because we're using dairy products, okay? Butter kind of burns pretty easily. We're gonna use a little bit of a technique to cause the butter not to burn. But I'm going to put the potatoes, I've got some white potatoes to put with this because it needs some side dish to go with it. So we're gonna just put the water in here, okay? And once the water gets filled up to about that part of the top, we're gonna put some salt in here and turn this on to medium high. So let's put that on there, grab some salt here and sprinkle it in there like so. And then let's go ahead and turn this on. This is the front, okay. There we go. So get those potatoes going. In the meantime, let's go ahead and put our butter in here. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of butter and then we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of oil as well, so. Okay, so we've got our butter in there. Before it starts sizzling away, we need to put our other 2 tablespoons of oil in here. The oil is the trick. It causes the butter not to get burned. So that's kind of a trick that you use, half and half oil, half butter, okay? And so just move this around the pan like so, and we're gonna get our chicken going here. All right, so here we go. Here is our dredged chicken, okay? This goes right in here like so. Just gonna toss it in there. That one in there. Okay, here we go. We're gonna be able to kind of fit these all in here, so let's make it work here. You don't want to crowd them too much here, okay? So there should be a little bit of space. Don't go on top of each other or anything like that. While we're waiting on this, I'm just going to go ahead and get our liquid ready here. So we're going to be using 1/2 cup of chicken broth, okay? And then we're going to be using 1/2 cup of Marsala wine, okay? That's how this chicken dish gets its name, from France, okay? So Marsala wine, we're going to use 1/2 cup of Marsala wine. So let's go ahead and measure that out. It's a bit of wine, but it gives a really good flavor. It has red grapes and white grapes that are used in the Marsala wine. They use like different varieties of grapes in this wine, so makes it pretty tasty, makes the dish tasty. Okay, so let me go ahead and get some tongs out of here, and we'll use these to turn over the chicken once it's ready. All right, so it has to kind of be browned on the other side. It has to get some caramelization and color on the other side of the chicken. So So that's kind of what we're looking for. That kind of is the signal, you know, that you have flavor on the chicken, okay? So let's go ahead and check it out by picking this up. See, it's getting some brown on there. See, it has some brown on there as well, so it's looking pretty good. So we'll go ahead and flip that one over. And let's go ahead and flip this one over as well. See that nice, beautiful color on there? So that's the way you want it. That's the way you want it to look, okay? So let's check this one out and see how it's doing. Oh, it's trying to run away from me. There we go. We got that one turned over there. And let's see about this one right here, how it's doing. Oh, that one's looking good too. So let's just get it going on this side. Now, it's not as important to make sure that the chicken gets all the way done. And the reason for that is because you're going to take it out, then you're going to cook the mushrooms, then you're going to put the chicken back in. And it's going to tenderize the chicken, so it doesn't have to be all the way done right now. We're just mainly browning the outside, caramelizing the chickens because it adds flavor to the chicken, okay? That's what we're doing right now, okay? So let's look and see. Ooh, that's looking great. And so is that. So go ahead and take our chicken out of here. We got enough brown on here. And we've got enough brown there too. This one, well, a little bit longer here. Okay, and let's check that one out. Yep, that needs a little bit longer. These are thicker, that's the reason for that. Okay, these two are kind of thin, so it doesn't take as long to brown it up there. Okay, so, all right. Smells good. Okay, let's see. There's the brown on that one. It looks really nice. Like I said, you don't have to cut into the chicken or anything to see if it's pink on the interior because we're putting these back in and that will cook all the way. Okay? So just take these out like so. Smelling good here. Let me put these tongs over here. We're going to add back in a little bit of butter, about a half of a tablespoon more of butter. Okay? And the reason why is because we have mushrooms that we're going to be cooking up, and they're always best to be sauteed in butter. Gives them some really good flavor. So here we go on our garlic, okay? And here we go on our mushrooms. So I actually used about a cup of mushrooms, but you don't have to use that much if you don't want to. Okay, let's just toss these around the pan now here. All right, looking good. So just a sprinkle of salt in there, like so. And a little dash of pepper as well. The garlic and the mushrooms together smell so heavenly. I love it. So just kind of move this around the pan like so. Just until the mushrooms start to get a little bit of color and they kind of shrink a little bit in size, okay? And also, you want to keep an eye on the garlic. You don't want it to burn, okay? So we're going to turn this down to about 5 on the dial here. And then we're going to go ahead and put our chicken back in, okay? So let's go ahead and put the chicken back in here. And we're going to kind of put it on top of the mushrooms here. And we're going to kind of cook these together. Let's get all of our pan juices in there like so. All right. So just kind of go up like that. So let's put the tarragon in there. And stir that in real nicely. Can't forget the tarragon. The tarragon is super, super important. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so now it's time. We're going to go ahead and put the liquid in there now. So this is the chicken stock and the Marsala wine. All right, there we go. Look at that, how bubbly that is. Here. So just turn it down to about low, medium lowish. And then we're gonna put a lid on here, okay? And this is gonna cook for 15 minutes. We're gonna let this kind of simmer down and thicken up, and it's gonna be good. So let's keep our eye on the potatoes, and when they're done, we'll drain those off with a colander and serve them with the chicken marsala. Okay, well, it's been 15 minutes and it's kind of been sizzling and soaking up all the flavor, which makes it really tender. So we're just gonna put in 2 tablespoons of whipping cream here, and this kind of gives a more creamy flavor. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of cream goes right in there. Let's go ahead and you can come over here and look. This is kind of move this around the pan. And gives it a creamy texture here for our Marsala chicken. You don't have to put this in here if you don't want to, but I do because it just kind of makes it a little bit more creamy and gives it a better texture. Okay, so let's turn that off and let's move this right over here. And yay, it's time. Time to plate this up. So I'm just gonna kind of start off by mincing the parsley. So you kind of bunch it together like so. Then you use your claw and you just run your knife through. And we're gonna create some green parsley to put on here. Now I'm mincing this, so just kind of run your knife through it and make it look small and nice and brightly green too. I love that about it. Okay, so here we have our parsley ready to go. So we're just gonna kind of put our potatoes, see how steamy they are, and they look so good. So these are our white potatoes that we're gonna put with this dish here. So just kind of plate them up like yay on the plate, like so. And then we're going to, go ahead and put the chicken on here as well. So we're just going to put a piece of chicken right here, like so, with a little bit of the mushrooms on top. And you can put the chicken on the, you can put the chicken, here we go. Put some more mushrooms on here and some more sauce on there, like so. Okay. A little bit on the chicken right there. So there, we have another one to go for somebody else, another little serving. So go ahead and put your green parsley on there, like so. And it's time to try this. Yum, 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 yum. So this is a good part. Let's get a little bit of pepper on there too, especially on the potatoes here. A bit of pepper and a tad bit of salt as well. Okay, so a little sprinkling of salt on the potatoes as well. There we go. And there we are, we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and try this. Let me get out a fork here and a knife here. It doesn't need a big knife though. We're not talking, see how tender it is? It just goes right through that like that. And here you just cut up these potatoes like so. Get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? In your first bite. So here we go. Let's try it and see. Pepper, get out of my way, right? So, oh, yum, yum, yum. Oh gosh, this looks so good. And it smells so good. The tarragon just makes it smell so good. Okay, here we go. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my. Tarragon is so sweet. And then you have the Marsala wine that really just tenderizes the chicken and gives a wonderful fruity sweet flavor as well. But the meatiness of the mushrooms in there really makes it so good. anyways, I would like you to make sure you make this at home because it's so good. So I'll see you next time. Make sure you make chicken marsala from France, and